Hello there. Hey, this is Kenny from LearnHowToProsper.com, and today I want to talk about the remedy for overcoming most anxiety, if not all anxiety. Okay? And bar none, I'll just cut right to the chase here, the number one thing you can do to eliminate or reduce anxiety and depression is to take action. And so in light of that, I wanted to share a book that really transformed my thinking. It's called The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. And Grant Cardone is a nut. I'm going to tell you right up front. I have the audiobook, and I really recommend the audiobook, although it's great to have the written book as well. And I just wanted to touch on some of the principles that he teaches in this 10X Rule. Now, the 10X Rule is all about taking massive action. How to up your activity by 10, in essence, is what we're saying. So he talks about what is the 10X rule and why is it vital. He talks about what is success. But this is where it starts to get really interesting here. He talks about success as your duty. And I love the way he characterizes the obligation that each of us have to reach our full potential. And he has a statement that he uses that I really like. It really resonated with me, and that is that he is never satisfied. He said he's never satisfied until he achieves his full potential. And that's something that really resonates with me. I feel like if I'm not achieving my full potential, then I get a sense of melancholy, a sense of, well, boredom at its worst. But that's why it's so important, I think, to have a vision for what it is you want to accomplish in your life, and then have a vision for your potential. What are the things that you want to accomplish? And then consider that your duty. I like that. Success is your duty. I love this. There is no shortage of success. He talks about that in chapter 5. And it's true. There's enough in this world and to spare to accomplish everything. Every single individual on this planet could strive to achieve their full potential, and there's still more than enough. I think that sometimes we come to believe that there's some kind of shortage in the world, some sort of scarcity. And what he's calling out in this particular chapter is that there is no shortage. There's enough for everyone to achieve. It's not as if some people can succeed and therefore others must fail. There's enough for everyone to succeed, and that is our obligation to do that. I love this. Assume control for everything. He talks about the importance of taking full responsibility for everything that happens in your life. Even those things that you would consider not to be your fault. Because even things that happen to us usually have a component of our own thinking and our own decision-making process. So the other thing that I love about the concept of assuming control for everything and assuming responsibility for everything is that it takes you out of the victim mindset. If you believe that someone else has control over your life, or that you are helpless in a particular situation because maybe someone ran into the back of you in your car, or you got the flu, or whatever the case may be, if you give that power over to someone else, then in essence you are losing the ability to be the captain of your own life. All right. The 4 degrees of action, he talks about that in chapter 7. In chapter 8, he talks about average is a failing formula. I really, again, liked the concept that he raised about the current state of things, not just in the United States, but in the world, how we have come to accept average as acceptable. And his point in this particular chapter is that if you're only striving for average, then you're probably going to fail, or that you're already on a failing path. Competition is for sissies, as he states in chapter 10. He says, don't compete, dominate. And I love that concept. Now, he has a whole book on obsession, and I'll do a book review on that a little bit later. He talks about how obsession isn't a disease, it's a gift. He talks about all of these diagnoses of individuals that have ADHD and these sorts of disorders. But he calls those out as a gift, the ability to do many different things with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. And I love that. Go all in and overcommit in chapter 13. I love this chapter. There's something about the energy and the power that comes into your life when you're willing to commit to something fully. In fact, I've seen that when you commit to something, things seem to line up to help you achieve the thing that you have set out to accomplish. Fear is the great indicator. That's in chapter 16. We could talk hours about fear. But in essence, what he's calling out here is that when you feel fear, that's usually the thing that needs to be accomplished. In other words, if you're afraid to make the phone call, that's probably the phone call you need to make. If you are afraid of having a difficult conversation, then that is the exact conversation that you need to have. If you have fear about asking this person out on a date, then that is precisely the action that you need to take. I love that because fear is designed certainly to protect us in times of extreme danger, but in our day and times, rarely, if ever, is there any extreme danger. It's really just the barriers that we place in front of ourselves based on our own thinking. The myth of time management. This is a key point that he covers in chapter 13. In essence, he talks about seizing time and being able to do 10 to 15 times the amount of things that you normally think that you could do in a given period of time. In essence, we waste a lot of time. So he talks about that a bit. He talks about criticism is a sign of success. And it's so true. He talks a lot about the haters. And if you don't have haters in your life, you probably aren't putting yourself out there and really striving to achieve the best that you have to offer. Finally, he talks about omnipresence, which is being everywhere, and excuses and giving up excuses. Well, I would fully endorse this book. For me, it's been a transformative book, and I like to listen to him whenever I need a little bit of a boost. He, in his audiobook, exudes so much energy and so much confidence that it is infectious. And you can click on the link down below if you want to pop on over to Amazon and take a look at his book. But I really recommend the audiobook. If you haven't, if you don't have a membership for Audible, you can get the first month free. And if you are going to get one book, I would suggest that you get this as your first free audiobook. And you can click on the link below to go pick that up. So with that, I'm going to sign off. If you like this video, if this was helpful in any way, click on the thumbs up or I like it button below. And with that, I'll sign off. Go make it a great day.